If there's one thing that you can't keep back, it's time. It continues to roll forward, whether you like it or not. And something that we need to recognize is that we're getting older, guys, and we need to pass on some great things to the young people. Stick around, we're going to be looking at the youths in just a little while, right here on Labor with Leo.
Get up, wake up my soul in the early morning. Wake up again, it's a new day. Wake up my soul, it's time to fly. Float on the winds and kiss the sky. The birds and flowers were made for you and me. I must be all I can be.
Alright guys, welcome to Labor with Leo. We are on a beautiful Tuesday morning and we got something really special for you. But before we do so, you know we got to hail out the boss himself. He's the man, Sydney, the original Crawford. And we got to hail out the rest of the crew. We got your girl Danielle and we got your girl Akima. Well, Akima is presently on the road. She's heading on the way to work. So we want to wish her guidance and safety on the way to work. So ladies and gentlemen, as we move on into the program, we got something really good for you because this morning we want to look at part 2 of the challenges of the youths in the church. Guys, we look at the youths, and they got some challenges going on for them, and we don't just look at them as, they're young, they're strong, they're vibrant, and everything is going for them. No, they are challenged from time to time, and we're going to be looking at the challenges of the youths in the church in just a moment. We got some great folks on the panel, all right? We got some young people. Some people may say they're a little bit on the line, on the fringe of youth. I didn't appreciate it that they said, tell me I was not youth. He tell me I'm old, and I didn't appreciate that at all. These days, Sydney telling me a lot of things, guys, and I refrain from harassing him this season, and he is coming at me this season, guys. All right, I'm going to jump back out. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be looking at challenges of the youths in the church. Before we do so, we got to do what we do best, all right? We give a little hail out to our peeps. You are our people out there, and we want to just give a little hail out to you on the chat. On the chat, I'm seeing my girl Lindy and Roberts, also my girl Siobhan Clark, that is Grenada and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, respectively. We got Diane Marie Mohammed, Trinidad and Tobago, Shirley Alcantara, Trinidad and Tobago, Beulah Tate, Trinidad and Tobago, Ellsworth Richards, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I think I'm going good so far. Remember everybody, man. Misty Blue, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Florence Sturton. We got Trinidad and Tobago with a little bit of Barbados in there, Florence. Yeah. We got Wendy and Norton from Trinidad, Maudlin Chase, Trinidad, Uncle Wayne, Trinidad, with a little bit of snow dripping in there from Atlanta. All right. Well, it's no snow these days. It's spring. Yeah. All right. Well, Indarde, I think I pronounced that right. Indarde, Paris. All right. From Trinidad and Tobago, deep south, we got Connie Langine from Grenada, Margaret Roach, Astra from Trinidad. We got Michelle Hooper from Guyana, Ashlyn John, Avenel McKenzie, Galen Boyer, Sharon Simmons from Bermuda, Emily Sugdio from Tobago, Leslie, my man, hope you're doing fine, from Grenada, Carol, Auntie Carol in the house. We got Jack De Lutchman, Chanel Coutain, Grenada, Veronica Joseph, Loretta Ross, Denison McIntyre, Grenada, with a little touch of the United States in his blood. All right, guys, that's just a few names I want to drop here for you. I'm seeing Gita, Maraj, McGill, Andrea, Frederick, Elizabeth Jurity, guys. Big up to you guys. Welcome to you on the show once again. We are really happy and we always really appreciate having you guys linemen with us on a morning. That's when we bring the positive vibes to keep the people up, running, and alive. All right, so that's what we do. We're going to be drenching the world in positivity, starting with some songs. All right, so those of you out there, you can join me in some singing. I wish I could have, the entire panelists present here, to join us in the singing. It would have been nice, eh? Yeah, it would have been really nice, dropping some of that harmony. And we know, I don't want to call no names. I want the names to be a surprise when they just pop up on the screen. Oh, this is the beautiful person on the panelist. Yeah, I want it to be a little surprise, all right? So we're going to be dropping some songs. So Sid and I would be rocking the music in the time being. All right, so we're going to be starting with this one. God has smiled on me. He has set me free. Oh, God has smiled on me. Well, He's been good to me. Dark clouds rolled away. Sunshine down on me. Come on, sing it. Dark clouds roll away. Sunshine down on me. Amazing grace, amazing grace. How sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Sing it again. God has, He has smiled on me, and He has set me free. Singing, God has smiled on me, and He's been good to me. Oh, He's been good to me. Let's drop this one. Don't you wanna go to that land? Don't you wanna go to that land? Don't you wanna go to that land? Oh, where I'm bound. Come on. Oh, don't you wanna go to that land? Don't you wanna go to that land? Don't you wanna go to that land? Oh, where I'm bound. Watch it. Nothing but love in that land. Nothing but love in that land. Nothing but love in that land. Oh, where I'm bound. Oh, nothing but love in that land. Nothing but love in that land. Nothing but love in that land. Oh, where I'm bound. Oh, where I'm bound. Oh, nothing but joy in that land. Nothing but joy in that land. Nothing. Fill your life with joy this morning. Come on. Where I'm bound. Oh, where I'm bound. Nothing but joy in that. Come on. Nothing but joy in that land. Nothing but joy in that land. Oh, come on. Where I'm bound, I've got a Savior in that. Come on, I've got a Savior in that land. I've got a Savior in that land. Oh, where I'm bound. Oh, I've got a Savior. Oh, I've got a Savior. Oh, I've got a Savior in that land. Where I'm bound. One more time. Oh, don't you wanna go? Oh, don't you wanna go to that land? Don't you wanna go to that land? Oh, where I'm bound. Oh, don't you wanna go? Oh, don't you wanna go to that land? Don't you wanna go to that land? Oh, where I'm bound. Yes, where I'm bound. Let's drop this one. Drop it a little mellow this morning. Make me new, Lord Jesus, make me new. For it seems that in so many ways I'm not enough like you. Take this weary vessel I am in and mold me once again. Take my life, take my spirit, make me new. Come on, make me new, Lord Jesus, make me new. For it seems that in so many ways I'm not enough like you. Take this weary vessel I am in and mold me once again. Take my life, take my spirit, make me new. Take my life, take my spirit, make me new. Take my life, take my spirit, make me new. A really beautiful song. A long time I haven't sung that song. You ever know that? Ever learned that song? No? Yeah, that's a really beautiful song, and I learned it from a beautiful person. I love that song a lot because it makes me feel, I need God because this rotten man that I am, I need God to really get me on track and make me into this beautiful person. So the beautiful man that you're seeing right now, ladies and gentlemen, is not because of me and what I'm capable of, but it's all because of the goodness and the grace of God. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's drop something again. Let's drop this one. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch. Let me hear you say that. Like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now, let me hear you say it. I see. Oh, amazing grace. Oh, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. Oh, I once was lost, but now I'm found. I was blind, but now I see. Oh, amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. Oh, I once was lost, but now I'm found. I was blind, but now I see. Was blind, but now I see. This one is for you, guitar. Alright, I just had to drop that little piece in there. I know I've been asking for something for some time, but don't get me started still. Alright, good. We're gonna be dropping some more. Let's drop a little bit more, said man. Jesus, 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 I've got him on my mind. Jesus, 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 I've got him on my mind. Say it again on. Jesus, 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 I've got him on my mind. Come on, I've got Jesus on my mind all the time. Sit. When you hear me singing, I've got him on my mind. When you hear me singing, I've got him on my mind. When you hear me singing, I've got him on my mind. Come on, I've got Jesus on my mind all the time. Look at this. When you see me praying, I've got him on my mind. When you see me praying, I've got him on my mind. When you see me praying, I've got him on my mind. Come on, I've got Jesus on my mind. Jesus, 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 I've got him on my mind. Jesus, 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 I've got him on my mind. Jesus, 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 I've got him on my mind. I've got Jesus on my mind all the time. Yeah, I got the next one here for you, Sid. Oh Lord, I give you my heart. Take it and make it your throne. For I am bought with a price, and I'm no longer my own. I worship you, oh Lord. I worship you, oh Lord. I worship you, oh Lord. I worship you. I worship I worship you. Sing to those who are broken hearted. Come on, say, do not be afraid. Yeah, yeah, the Lord your God is strong, and with his mighty arms, when you call on his name, yeah, yeah, he will come and save. Come on, sing it. He will come and save you. I said, he will come and save you. Say to the weary ones, your God will surely come. He will come and save you. He will come and save you. He will come and save you. Lift up your eyes to him, you will arise again. He will come and save you. Come on, sing. Amen. Come on, sing it with me, man. Amen. Sing it now. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, amen. See that little baby. He's lying in a manger. It was early one morning. Amen. See him in the temple. He is speaking with the elders. Who is marvelous wisdom. Amen. Everybody sing. Come on. Everybody sing. Everybody sing. Amen. 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 'Cause I am under the rock. The rock is higher than. Come on. Jehovah guides me. Jehovah guides me. Sing, I am under the rock. Come on, drop it now. Don't tell my enemy. Go tell them that I am under the rock. Come on, folks. Jehovah guide me. I am under. One more time. I am under. That's it. R-O-C-K. Rock is higher than R-O. That primary school, isn't it? Jehovah guide. And Sunday school. I am under the R-O-C-K. Go tell my enemies that I am under the rock. Come on. Jehovah guide me. I am under the rock. And Jehovah guide me. I am under the rock. And Jehovah guide me. I am under the rock. Lovely, lovely. Said I wanted to do something here for me. Hey, look, my girl Tandika up in this place, boy. Yeah, Tandika says she missing out a lot, but she just keep watching the rerun. That small thing, Tandika. Yeah, once you find the episodes and you keep up to date, man. Small thing, but good to see you on the live this morning. That's what I'm talking about. Said drop this one. Let's drop this one. So it go like this. Call him up. Let's go. You better call him up. That's all they're doing. You better call him. I know you're running business. They said, better call him up. Yeah, you better call him up. That's all they're saying. You better call him up. Woo. You better call him up. Yeah, you better call him up. Let's drop it. Sing, call him up. And tell Jesus what the problem is. Come on, sing, call him up. He will lend you a hand. Call him up. He will cast away your problems. Come on, just stop hesitating. I know God is waiting, so call him up in prayer. Call him up. Let's go. go. Sing. Call him up. Come on. Yeah, and tell Jesus what the problem is. Come on. Sing. Call him up. Yeah. And he will lend you a hand. Oh, call him up. Yeah. And he will cast away your problems. Come on, say stop hesitating. I know God is waiting, so call him up. Yeah, in prayer, call him. I said you're running that. Oh, yeah. Congratulations to Sid. Sid is now a bass singer, ladies and gentlemen. Sydney is now a bass singer, all right? So that is what we got here. Well, let's drop one more song, and then we'll invite our panelists on this morning for us to be able to have a little discussion with those beautiful people, all right? So let's drop this one. We're just going to mellow it down a little bit. I was going to drop a kumbaya, but I think I want to wild up the scene just before the session, all right? So let's just mellow it down just for a little bit. Let the glory of the Lord, come on, rise among us. Let the glory of the Lord, sing it, rise among us. Let the praises of our King, sing it, rise among us. Let it rise. Let the glory of the Lord, let the glory of the Lord, oh, let it rise among us. Let the glory of the Lord, let it rise among us. Let the praises of our King, let it rise among us. Let it rise. Oh, 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 sing, oh, let it rise. Let the Spirit of the Lord, let the Spirit of the Lord, let it rise among us. Let the Spirit of the Lord, oh, let it rise among us. Let the praises of our King, let it rise among us. Let it rise. Let the glory of the Lord, let the glory of the Lord, sing, let it rise among us. Let the glory, oh, let it rise among us. Let the praises of our King, let it rise among us. Let it rise, singing, oh, 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 you better let it rise, singing, oh, oh, well, oh, you better let it sing, let it rise. That's what I'm talking about. All right, look, Dennison saying, is he the bass singer or he's singing bass? Dennison, the man, is a bass singer, all right? He's now qualified as a bass singer. Sid, drop a little bass in the mic. Go, give him a Barry right this. Sid.
Call him up.
See? All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, we want to get into the session this morning, and we got three lovely panelists that we want to introduce, all right? Number one, we got a lovely guy all the way from Ohi-Oho, way in the back of, all right, ladies and gentlemen, you guys know him, all right? He's a familiar face to the labor program. We want to welcome to you at this time your boy, Quincy Alcantara, and joining Quincy would be your girl. She is back here for part 2, Clarissa Chase, and of course a well-known voice and soon to be a well-known face, Priya Gosine. We just want to say welcome to our panelists this morning. Blessings and honor, all right, glory and power. All right, well guys, pleasant good morning to you. How are you guys doing this morning?
Hi, guys. Good morning.
I'm fine. Thanks. I'm fine. Thanks. Good morning, all. Good morning, label team.
Lovely. All right. Well, great to have you guys. Quincy, you look handsome as ever. And I'm sure folks on the chat could identify with that. Who's this handsome young man, ladies and gentlemen? That is Quincy Alcantara. All right, he is the man himself, the great guy himself. And we got Clarissa Chase, a lovely young lady. She's back here for part 2. She did a wonderful job, an excellent job on part 1 as we had this discussion, and she's back here. Clarissa, good morning.
Hi,
to
good
you.
morning, everyone. Good morning, Label Team. Pleasure to be back with you all for part 2.
And we got your girl herself. She is the voice, ladies and gentlemen. And Quincy, no crying, please. All right, so guys, we got the voice herself. She is Priya Gosine. For those of you who wondering, well, you're trying to put a face to the voice. There we go, Priya Gosine. She is joining us this morning live so that we can discuss on youth. Let me just ask you something, Priya. All right. So I'm not going to reveal any age, but you're the youngest among the panelists. So I want to ask you this. At what age do you think we should stop calling an individual a youth?
Okay. To give you an age, I want to say like 28.
But that's
Bye,
too young.
Leon.
No,
I
you
hope
make
you found it.
I know you're making me feel old, man. I thought you'd give us something. Be generous now.
A state of mind, I think that there are 28-year-olds that could probably identify with me, and then there are 28-year-olds who married and have children, and we're not really in the same, we're not operating the same. So I think it depends on just where you are in life.
I think you're throwing thing for me. I think you're trending for me. No, because I married and I have 2 children,
Yeah.
So she's trying to just push me aside, you out of here already. I do appreciate that. Because I just feel the same way as Sydney telling me I old, I'm not old. I'm a young guy. Just a few hair on my face. That's all. All right. But great to have you guys on the panel. And it's a discussion that we need to have because we can see in the church youths are being challenged from various angles, and we want to start addressing some of those things, start expressing some of those things, and even throwing out some solutions that the churches can take heed of and implement, so that as we go on, we can have a more balanced church. And as the older ones prepare, to move off that scale, the youths would be coming on with a smooth transition. So I want to direct the first question to Clarissa. You were the first. You among the panelists. You were the one that joined us on the first part, and we want to look at expectations. In the churches, it seems as though we have a level of expectation for the youths coming up. And in particular, we want to get into that a little after. Youths that are connected to preachers, evangelists, and so on. But there are some level of expectations of youths in general. And do you think that the church expect way more from youths than we invest in them?
Well, I think yes and no. Why I say that is because, yes, remember last time when we spoke about some of the challenges, we dealt with the church not having sufficient programs for mentorship,
Right.
really training the youths in the way that, for the continuity of the church, so to speak. So in terms of the church continuity, then yes, they are probably expecting a bit more than is being invested, because being there every Sunday to see what goes on is well and good, but there's more to being in the church and the operation of the church than just coming and sitting on a Sunday morning. So in that aspect, yes, there's a lot of work to be done in terms of mentorship and such. Why I said no as well too, because remember last time we dealt with the importance of personal faith.
Right.
So in terms of the elders expecting the youth to step up on their own and not be dependent on mommy or daddy or granny or whoever to bring them out, so to speak, and for they having the interest to get involved in the work of the church and to find their own ministry and, exercise their own faith. then that is a personal thing and that is an expectation on every Christian. So that's not specifically something that the youths, particularly, although we would have expectations placed upon us, I think that is a general thing as a Christian. So then, in that aspect, where example in Timothy said, don't let anybody despise your youth, but be an example. So in that aspect, we are called to be examples from where we would have seen earlier generations make mistakes, have different attitudes that sometimes are not scriptural. We are expected as the young and so-called educated, not saying anything about the older generation, but as we learn and as we get involved in various aspects, both secularly and spiritually, we are expected to do better. So I don't think that's unreasonable.
Quincy, tell me something, right? You ever wore a belt bottom pants?
No, no, definitely not.
How pressured you think the youths feel in the church today to dress more like the older folks? Because we always we hear a lot about the young people and how the young people dress and how the young people carry about themselves in form of the clothes that they wear, the modern type of clothing that they wear. How pressured do you think youths feel today? Just give us a little idea on that, a little thought on that, due to the fact that the older folks may like to see the youths, looking more like them, those long skirts, ankle skirts, those kind of stuff, long blouse, loose clothing, that kind of stuff. And the young people today, they don't seem to fall into that kind of category at all. You want something a little more fitted. You want to feel neat. Some people would wear a long skirt and say they feel untidy. So how pressured you feel youths feel today when concerning clothing?
All right. Before I answer that question, I must address Priya's statement earlier. All right. You are youth until you're 35. So Leon, we safe. We safe still. We safe. Yeah.
All right.
All right. But in terms of the pressure, I believe that the youths are pressured greatly. All right. Now we have to look at it from both sides of the point. So the older generation throw around this word called modesty a lot. But what exactly is modesty? And I've been having this discussion with a lot of individuals, and modesty, in my belief, this isn't set in stone, but it is set by society, by social norms. So things that would be considered modest in Trinidad, somewhere in the Amazon or even in the States, it wouldn't be considered modest. Right. So we have to look at culture. Right. Now, on the same hand, we have to also look at the image that we portray. Right. So yes, I understand that the youth of today want to be comfortable. They want to feel good in the clothes that they wear. They want to look good.
Mm-mm.
Constant is the word, right? So with the change in times, we have to understand that we have to relate to them. We have to bridge that generational gap. Talk to them. Listen. So this is what we would have done. This is what you're doing. There must be some middle ground whereby you can look good and you can please me as well. So both parties, the younger ones and the older ones, have to bridge the gap, have to break that disconnect, talk with each other and come to some common ground that both parties would be satisfied.
All right. That sounds good, Quincy. And I see Sydney getting on bad in the chat. Yeah, Sydney, preach, Quincy, preach. That's some good stuff. Because we need to
not hearing Leon.
Leon, we're not hearing.
We're not hearing you.
All right, all right. Sorry about that.
There we
All
go.
right. Really appreciate that. Sydney, I was mentioning Sydney getting on bad in the chat for you, Quincy. He said preach. All right. But that's good. I really appreciate that, Quincy. Priya, talk to me. Uh, as a young person, growing up in the church, what do you see um, happening with the youths over and over? Because I know you would have been around, even if you're the youngest, you would have been around, you would have seen youths coming, you would have seen youths leaving. What was the difference for you? What made you remain, and what do you think is one of the reasons that youths fail to remain attached to the church?
Mm.
Okay, so I would say the reason that I have stayed is because of the people that I have around me. My mother, my grandmother, very influential people in my life who very strong Christians, growing up. Yeah, okay. So for me, I wasn't just come to church on a Sunday, go to Bible class on a Wednesday kind of thing. My mommy was very, okay, we'll have devotion. We're gonna read Bible stories in the night. Make sure you pray. So it wasn't like it was something that she instilled in me and my sister. So I knew that it was very important to her and it became important to me. And I think where we fall short with other youths or youths who do not stick around is that we don't take the time to really help them along the way. I don't think that everybody is afforded the same opportunity having a mommy like I do or a grandmother like I do. Not everybody has that. And so when we baptize youths or even youths who've grown in the church, they don't have influential people like that around. And it's hard to go to somebody and say, somebody you don't have a relationship with at least, and
Right.
say, um, I'm struggling a little bit. I don't know, this thing not really working out for me. It's hard to say that to somebody who you feel like you can't trust. And so then there are so many other distractions. Why would I choose to come to church or come to youth meeting when I could go out with my friends and watch a
Right.
movie? When what is appealing about church when there are other things that I could do? So I
Right.
don't have it. It's compounded. I don't have somebody I could speak to. There are other distractions and attractive things. I might as well just leave and do what I want. Not what is really keeping me here. And that's where, as Clarissa said, personal faith would come in, but that's something that needs to be built. You don't
True.
just start off with a great amount of faith. And so if we don't have people mentoring and discipling like that, taking people under their wing, they're not gonna stay because they're not growing. And that's just the way that it would be.
So you're saying that is something that we lack. We lack, as Clarissa was mentioning earlier, that mentorship program. It doesn't have to be a whole program like you come in a class, but at least a person could look at another individual, identify, wait, now, they seem to be dealing with stuff that I dealt with before. I could work with them and help them through this. So what you're saying is that we need more of the experienced one paying attention to the younger ones and what they're dealing with to be able to work with them step by step. That's what you're saying.
Yes, yeah, that's definitely what it is, because I feel like we don't really approach youth like that. We probably wait for them to approach us, but they're
Right.
not going to. I don't know if we haven't learned that they're not going to by now, but they're not going to. So the onus is on us to go and speak with them. And I could count the amount of times people have asked me, "Oh, how is school going?" or "How is
Right.
singing?" But never, "Hey, how your relationship with God? How you feeling about church?" I don't think anyone has ever asked me that. So
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
If I could just interject,
Yeah, no
Leo, for
problem.
a minute. Continuing on Priya's train of thought, right? There are some people who the elders in the church would point out and say, okay, this person probably needs a little help and mentoring. And again, we have to acknowledge those who really genuinely reach out to youth and really try to help them, right?
Yeah.
There are those who really genuinely are interested in the well-being of the youth, and that's very commendable. But as sometimes what I think we miss are those, as you said, who are, how should I put this, projected to be strongholds in the church and projected to be well put together youths and people who have it together, and they have the parents and they have the congregation and they're in the ministry and whatnot. I think this is the group sometimes that is missed in terms of the outreach, because I've heard it personally said that, well, you don't need anything, you have all you need.
Hmm.
It's been said. So sometimes I might be going through something and nobody would ever know. And that's the reality with a lot of youth as well too. So as much as we're trying to strengthen, the faith of those we might see slipping, which is very important, because sometimes that's how they slip away. But then we have to bear in mind that we all are people as well as Christians, and not because somebody seems to be going okay, that means all is so. So we have to also look at a all-rounded approach, and try and not to make assumptions based on what you think that person has, or what you think where you think that person's fate is, because they may be on the verge of cracking and you'll never know. So it's a reality. It's a sad reality, but it's one nonetheless.
And you're making really great points because it all comes back to relationship. If you don't have a relationship with someone, you can approach them on real delicate issues. You won't be able to. And the truth is, young people, that's what they are, young people. They are inexperienced human beings, so don't expect them to deal with a situation in a mature way, or in a way that would bring about the best results. They are trying to cope with things themselves, and how can they get through it without the guidance of those who would have experienced it and those would have gone through it several times. All right, so I think that is a very important point that yourself, Priya, and even Quincy might have touched on as well. Trying to understand the youths, get in touch with them, build a relationship with them, get to know them. All right. But Quincy, tell me something. As we talk about that relationship with youths, we know that sin is an issue for everybody, and because sin is an issue for everybody, and the young people in particular, they would be, as we mentioned, inexperienced, they are immature, they are trying to cope with life, some of them trying to find themselves, they don't know what direction they really want to go in life as yet. And in dealing with challenges, struggles, even sin issues, because you have friends in the world influencing you and all that kind of stuff, in dealing with that, what type of approach do you think? What do you think is missing in helping the youth deal with some of those things? Because the older ones, they fight up with stuff themselves. But what I'm saying is that they are more able. Some of them, I should say, would be in a position where they are able to handle things compared to the young person. All right. But the young man, as Priya would say, or the young woman would not just come to an older person and say, while I'm dealing with this. No, it wouldn't happen. So what do you think should be the way going forward? What suggestion do you have concerning youths dealing with their struggles, and how can we help them in some of those areas?
Mm.
Okay, so the first thing that I would say that we all need to do, especially the younger ones, is to take off the projection of being perfect, pretending
Right.
to be perfect.
Okay.
You see, now I remember, now I grew up in the church as well. And I looked at the older ones and like, wait, boy, these people are real perfect, boy. These people don't make no mistakes. These people don't do nothing wrong. And it's only as I got older and I started observing and I started understanding, I realized, wait now, but these people just like me.
Yeah.
So why then do these people on a Sunday morning just, hey, I'm a perfect person. I am this, I am that. So the first thing we have to do, especially the preachers, is stop projecting perfection as the first thing. Now, every time I would stand to preach, I would always say something about myself that I think I need to change. And in that way, people feel comfortable, like, hey, you know what? This man, yes, he's a preacher, but he still struggles with X, Y, and Z. So I can relate to him. I can come to him and say, hey, listen, I heard you mention so and so when you was preaching. I have the same problem. How can I deal with it? Because I don't know how to deal with it. So that's the first thing people have to do. Stop pretending to be perfect. Stop projecting perfection, right? And then now, we have to give the younger ones a sense of comfort in that they would not be judged. We have to get rid of that fear of being judged because I come out and say I have a problem with smoking, I have a problem with drinking, I am addicted to watching pornography, that kind of thing. the judging eyes. You mightn't say it, but the look that
Yeah.
we give them, like, wait, but you
Yeah.
just do that?
Hmm.
Why do you do that?
Hmm.
You know, we have to stop that. And it's only then they would realize that, listen, yes, because the church is not a place of perfect people.
Thank
We
you.
know that, right? The church, the hospital for those who are sick with sin. So in that now, we have to give them the comfort that you can come to me to speak with me about anything. What is the problem? And me now, being the person who have went through certain things in life, know exactly how to advise you. I can't tell you exactly what to do. What I can do is tell you my experience and what I did, and keeping in line with the word of God, something you should try. Now, it might not work for you, but you have to now understand that, listen, there are many ways, as the local saying goes, there are many ways to skin a cat. So you have to try, talk to other people and get the understanding, of what can work for you. But the first thing we must do is build that trust. You know, get rid of the judgmental eyes and not project perfection. And then we can, as I said before, bridge that gap, meeting in a common ground, in a common place, and help each other. Now that is much easier said than done, but it's something to look at.
Priya, do you feel the older people don't try to make an effort to understand young people and the age and the times that we're living in? Do you feel that they don't make an effort to do that, and they sit back and believe that the youths, long time we used to do this, and they expect the youths to start acting like long time and responding like long time? Do you feel they just expect the youths to fall into their way of doing things and not try to understand the new age, the new way of life? Because things are progressing and things are improving. What's your thoughts about that?
Okay, so I would say yes and no. I don't want to put everybody in one box.
Right.
I think that there are people who are progressive, and they understand that, well, the times are changing, children are different, so we can't continue to use the same methods. But I do think that the majority are still pretty traditional and
Right.
do believe that, there's one way that things should be, and if it's not that way, then it's wrong, which is not true. But I do believe that there are people who still who are, for one, my grandmother, and I can't give her wrong for that because she's old, she's stuck in her ways. I'm not trying to change her. But one time we had a conversation about ladies fellowship. I hope she don't, well, she's not gonna know that I say this. Yeah, so one time we had a conversation about ladies fellowship, and I was saying that maybe there could be more efforts for it to be relatable to younger
Right.
women, like. And she was like, no, there's nothing wrong. And I mean, there was nothing wrong, but it just was, at the time, it wasn't relevant to me.
Right.
So, and she did not want to hear that, there could probably be some changes made. And I think that there are a lot of older people take that stance. But that's not helpful. It's not
Right.
going to get us anywhere. I think that the youths of today are pretty stubborn. So if they realize that, hey, things not really looking up or getting better or suitable to the way that I think I want to live my life or what I want to hear and see, they're gonna leave. They're not gonna stick around. They're gonna go somewhere where they feel like they will be heard, and they could express themselves, and you can't really give them wrong for that.
Boy, Clarissa, what about criticism? Do you think, concerning youths, do you think there are more negative rather than constructive criticism to youths?
Well, I don't think so, really. I don't think, because there are certain criticism that is unreasonable. Because remember the first question you asked about whether we have unrealistic expectations placed upon us, right?
Yeah.
And we established that yes, in a way, and then there's not. So in a way that there are unrealistic expectations placed upon youths, then the criticism comes with regard to that if you are not living up
Right.
or you're not performing as should be, right? But then I think there are two sides, again, as Quincy said, and I will always take the view that there are two sides to every point that we raise, especially with regards to the youths. Because it said where we are now is where we have placed ourselves. That why I would say that is there are attitudes of some youths, and I'm not afraid to say that being a youth, there are attitude of some youths that are not respectful to the elders.
Right.
So when certain, well, I wouldn't say criticism, certain observations are being made, and certain things that they would have went through to help you or to prevent you from going down that same road, the reaction is not always pleasant,
Right.
right? So then again, that's probably why some of the elder ones don't feel comfortable to tell the youth certain things, because they've had experiences where they've reached out to young people and the response that they got was either pass over or just plain out disrespectful, right? So, and also criticism on the other hand, where it's unreasonable, again, as Priya was saying, different times, different culture, different requirements, different needs. And I see Sydney brought up in the chat with social media and different eras and different things we go through now.
Yeah.
So then how you handle something, how you expect it to handle something is different from how they think it should be handled. And again, you have to have some middle ground to meet. So you can't just criticize without offering solution, because again, sometimes that's what happens.
Yeah.
We criticize sometimes just because we want something to say, or we want to, make ourselves feel a little taller, establish that, okay, this is my position, I have right to tell you this. But then what solution are you offering to help the situation? And, sometimes we have nothing to offer.
Right.
And that's bad. So I believe if you have a criticism or feedback or whatever you choose to call it, always have some sort of positive solution to accompany it, some way that you of yourself are willing to help, not just saying, well, you could do this better.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I could probably tell sister so and so to watch and make sure they're doing it better. But you taking yourself out of the equation, so you personally aren't willing to do anything,
Right.
but you're willing to open your mouth and say how things should be done. So I believe criticism also needs to be accompanied by a solution, if it
Wow.
is given at all.
Wow. Before we go on further, I just want to encourage you guys. This is the time when we take call-ins. The number is 267-3564. That is 267-3564. You can call in, especially via WhatsApp, where the charge is free, and you can make your comments. You can ask your questions to the youths as well, and we will try to entertain it and answer it as best as possible. All right. So we're looking at criticism, and that is important. Because constructive criticism is what helps you develop, it's what helps you grow. But Quincy, let me drop this one for you. Because even when you're talking about criticism, and Clarissa was mentioning a few things a while ago, when you're talking about criticisms and the older people criticizing the young people, do you think that the older ones spend enough time trying to understand the ways of the young people? Do you think they try to shape them, or they just try to bend them into a certain direction? All right, Quincy.
I think
Before
it's
you
twofold
entertain,
because they are one.
before you entertain that question, all right, we were just getting a call in here. I was going to address that one, but all right, continue.
Right. Yeah. I believe that it's twofold because they are the ones whom I would have seen who would try to reason with the youths, who would try to, chip away at it piece by piece, to show them, to shape them, as I said, and then they're the ones, listen, X, Y, and Z is the case, final. I don't want to hear, do this, do that, do that. So there are a bit of both, So to say that one is stronger than the other, I wouldn't be able to say that, but there's a bit of both. Right, and each could probably improve on their techniques, because even the ones who try to chip away slowly, they still meet resistance.
Right.
Because if I am accustomed to doing something my way, and even if you come at me subtly and say, hey, I see you doing X, Y, and Z, but you want to try this way? Yes, I would be a bit offended, for want of a better word, but I would more be inclined to listen to that person than the person who come and say, hey, stop what you're doing and do this now.
Right.
So
we get
both sides would be met with opposition. Yeah, go ahead.
A pleasant good morning. You're live on Labor with Leo. How are you doing this morning?
All right, so far this is Stephen here.
Hey Stephen, what's up, my man?
All right.
Hold on, Stephen. Before you start, I don't know. I was expecting your call, because your twin is on the show. You
My
understand?
twin?
Watch me. They can't sever Quincy and Stephen. All right, go ahead, Stephen. You go ahead.
Yeah, I actually didn't even know Quincy was online this morning. I just saw the heading on his Facebook talking about the youth. So
See the
I clicked it and
connection.
was surprised to see him on the screen. But from my experience, is a twofold thing in that I remember I was in Tobago and I was speaking to a young lady in the church when the service was over now.
Yeah.
And while we were speaking, an elderly lady came between us and started to address the young lady about the way that she was dressed, right? Because she said that she shouldn't have, like, she had, I wouldn't say there was a lot of cleavage out, but I guess to the elderly woman, she decided to breach the topic in front of me and the young lady. I felt so embarrassed because I would say, well, in my mind, I saying, this is not the time to bring up something like that, because you see the young lady speaking to me, I speaking to her, and that is something you should pull aside and address the situation better now.
Yeah.
And this is one of the reasons why sometimes the youth probably doesn't want to breach certain things, because the elderly people at times they're pretty much harsh when they want to make the points known.
Right.
All right, so that was my contribution. It is at that point in time, some youths might have been dealt with in a way that they don't like. The youth these days, not like how we were. We used to take admonition and bow we head, and we cool. These youths these days, you had to watch how you speaking to them, because they are not taking a level of disrespect. Even though they are youths, they feel that just because I am a youth, you shouldn't be able to just come and talk to me anyhow. You ought to treat me like if we are on the same plane and bring across your point in a manner that don't embarrass me. Right? So this is how you ought to approach them now. And that's my contribution this morning.
Wow, that's great stuff, Stephen. Really appreciate it. Sometimes the older ones could really come across a little bit too harsh, and we could find a little smoother and easier way to deal with some of the situations. Thanks a lot, Stephen.
Yeah, man, no problem.
Yeah, bless up. Wow. Quincy, I'm dropping that one for you. What do you think about what Stephen just said? Is that true concerning what you would have experienced or what you would have seen happening in the church?
Yes, because Stephen and I, as well as Joel, we have these conversations a lot.
Right.
We have it a lot, and I would have seen it, and it even though it wasn't in my immediate like next to me, like I would have seen it from a distance and be like, but why here? Why not? Don't pull the person aside, talk to them, and and after that, however it goes. So is as Stephen would have said, there's a time and a place, and in front of others, you don't do it. You pull them aside, you have a conversation with them, listen. All right, I noticed that your skirt too short, or to the young man, your pants too tight, that kind of thing. Talk to them separately and apart, and then take it from there. But
lovely.
From it, no human being likes to be embarrassed. None.
True.
So if you and I are having a conversation and an older person come to me, young man, I would feel embarrassed, and automatically all sorts of thoughts just pop into my head. But because, this is me personally, because I know that, all right, I must be respectful, I wouldn't say anything. But as Stephen said, the youths of today, right, the youths of today, they're different. I work with the at-risk youth of today, and I know they are different. Yeah. And me now, using my experience growing up to deal with them, is totally different. I have to now deal with them on a level that they would understand. So I would sometimes ignore the disrespect and still try to reason with them. And when they realize, but I'm not meeting their disrespect with disrespect, then they calm down and we have a good conversation. Wow. So Whereas some of the older ones, from the time you show them disrespect,
Yeah.
they do disrespectful.
Right,
That
right.
is not the
I'm
way.
with you. I'm with you.
Sometimes it's better to forego it, to ignore it, and try to reach them, because in the study of psychology, there's what we have called the presenting problem and the underlying problem.
Right.
Now, most people only see the presenting problem, but they ain't seeing what is the underlying problem that causing the person to behave the way they are behaving.
Wow.
So in conversing with them, we realize what the underlying problem is. And then we can address the underlying problem, and then the presenting problem goes away. So after a period of time, that happens.
That's a big point. That's a big point. We got a call here. A pleasant good morning. You're live on Labor with Leo. How are you doing this morning?
Hey, Leanne Hendrickson.
Hey, what's up, my man?
I thought all along you all hearing me. I mean, I said a lot. I hope that was not recorded.
No.
You know what I was saying to you. The topic is really good. I like what is going on with the panel and everything like that. I just wanted to share something. You know, when I was growing up, I had moved out. You know, was living on my own around age 18, 19 thereabout. And, you know, back then, fornication was the topic on the pulpit.
Right.
People never used to talk to, like, come to you and have a conversation. They don't know what's going on. And I have found that, you know, that they used to actually preachers used to preach from the pulpit.
Right.
And, you know, they say, like, it used to, like, literally preach to you, preach on you. That is what used to happen to me. And the amazing thing is, what they were talking about, I was not guilty of. So, so the mature people, we have to be so careful, you know, because you don't know, unless you have a conversation with somebody, I don't think that you should really talk about things so publicly. You should at least admonish and encourage one another. But when I was growing up, I was literally preach at, and if it wasn't for the grace of God, I would not have been here. I had to like stand my ground and say, you know what, it's the life that I'm called to live, a Christian life. The kind of things that was hard at me, if I was strong, I would have given up a long time ago. You know, so sometimes you have to encourage your youth and have that kind of dialogue and conversation with them. So at least, you know, to know that we care about them.
Yeah.
It is very, very important. So I think that, you know what, Clarissa, Quincy, and Priya, you know, having a great discussion. Just want to say kudos to them and continue to encourage the youth. You know, the youth need encouraging, and they need people with mature attitude to talk. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the older folks don't do a good job, even sometimes preachers. That's my contribution.
All right. Thank you so much, Hendrickson.
Well, Leon,
You're
if I
welcome.
could just chime in to continue on Brother Hendrickson's thoughts, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of times when people share their stories and share their things that they have experienced in the church, you know, I hear a common phrase that if I wasn't strong, if I didn't have the support, I would have gone, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of us could identify with times where, you know, our faith and the level where we at is what keep us here still, right?
Right.
And again, just bringing to the forward again that, you know, while we are at that level, there are those who aren't. And the kind of talk and criticism and whatnot that I may be able to handle, and Quincy may be able, Priya may not be able to handle that, you know, and that's something you learn as well when you're dealing with children. That's something I learned in Sunday school as well, dealing with children. You know, the whole class is making noise, but the way you will get one or two to quiet down, sometimes you have to bowl at them because they don't understand anything else. Right? But then there are some, as soon as you bowl at them a little, they start to cry.
Yeah.
One time, right? So what certain people may be able to take, others may not be. And then to you saying, well, what's the big deal? You know? Just because you are able to carry a burden because your back is strong over the years doesn't mean other people are to that level of strength to carry that same burden. And you know what I find with a lot of youths that go through these different things, I think one of the underlying reasons is that because they feel alone.
Right.
And because youths feel alone and they feel like they have nobody to turn to, nobody who wants to understand, nobody to relate to, nobody they feel comfortable to open up to, then they crumble and they withdraw. And you have to look at the people who are always by themselves, who are
Right.
always withdrawn,
Right.
And okay, I'm in a congregation where I'm the only youth. People ask me how I do it. Again, by the grace of God and because of the family I have.
Right.
Thank God, my mom has always been there with me, encouraging me. And I am a person, I like to get out. I like to go different fellowships. I like to meet different people. So yeah, this COVID is not fun for me, right? But again, there are others who don't have, a youth group to fall back on. They don't have people in their congregation they feel comfortable to talk to. They just don't have it. And you just see these people, they're there. You ask how you going, and before you could answer, they turn away and go on to somebody else meet and greeting down the line. I don't know how many have experienced it. I think that's something everybody in the church have experienced at one point in time.
Right.
Like you might want to open up about something, and it's like, how you going? Well, sis, and they go on the way,
Yeah.
because we just, hi, how you going is like a ritual.
Yeah.
If you don't ask
Yeah.
that, it will look bad, but you don't really care how I going per se. So, but for some youth, they just don't have the support system, and then you don't want it to reach to the point where they take drastic measures,
Right.
you know, and again, falling into certain kinds of sin, you know, all kind of destructive behavior, alcohol, drugs, even trying to take their own life. You don't know what could happen because they feel alone, because they feel nobody understands. And they feel sometimes that they have no purpose, and it could get to that point. So just because we are strong, just because we are able, doesn't mean others are able. So we always have to treat everybody with kindness. I know there's a quote that says that treat everybody kindly because they're fighting a battle you don't know about.
Right. Right.
Everybody's fighting something that you are not aware, that the public is not aware. But they put on a smile and they
Yeah.
try their best,
Yeah.
So again, how you deal with somebody might make the difference in their life for the better or the worse. So it's up to us to take up that responsibility, not just with youth, but everybody in general, and make kindness a way of life, so to speak.
Lovely.
So I just
Lovely.
want to leave that there.
Lovely. Well, we are gone past our time, and I just want to ask Quincy if there's any final encouragement or any suggestion, any final thing that you would like to share before we wrap this thing down.
I would just like to say that I agree with everything that Clarissa just said. She took the words right out of my mouth.
Wow.
That was going to be my next point. She did it so eloquently, and that's it right there. As she say, we're all different. So the things that you might be able to take, I mightn't be able to take. So we have to understand that we cannot use the same approach for everyone.
Right.
You can't use the same approach for everyone. You could take the same soft approach for everyone. You could do that. But in terms of because as she rightly said, there are some people who, if you speak with them soft, they will just brush you off. But from the time you raise your voice a little loud, in my personal experience in work, then you will calm down.
Right.
So it's a matter of knowing the people you're dealing with and knowing how to approach them. You can't take the same approach with everybody. You can't be hard and fast. So that is my contribution. And thank you very much for the opportunity to, be on this panel with these esteemed individuals.
Yeah. Priya, anything else you want to add as we close?
I will say I recently I heard someone, I cannot remember from where, say that we are all ordinary people with an extraordinary friend. The extraordinary friend, of course, being Jesus. And I think that that's amazing. And I think that if we all understand we have this one mutual friend, we all are friends, and friends are kind. Friends are people who you want to be around. You could go to them with anything. You enjoy their company, and I think that if we keep that in mind, that we not just brother and sister in Christ, that's such a formality. We are friends, and you keep that in mind, and I think we would go a very long way.
Very nice, very nice. Clarissa, any of your final words?
Well, again, I always like these conversations because this is the forum where we get to see and share experiences, and again, with solutions, right? And I'm glad to say that we have exuded some lovely solutions that we could put into practice, both here on the panel and in the chat. I've seen some people put in some lovely comments. So I want to thank you all for that. And again, thank you for the opportunity to be here. So what I would like to close with is that let us take it beyond today. Let us take it beyond the panel. Let us take it upon ourselves to reach out and be a friend to somebody. I think it will make the difference in somebody's life, and you wouldn't know by that simple gesture what you can do for somebody. And you could save a life, you could save a soul. So let's take that challenge and reach out to those out there that may not have any friends or may just be sitting in a corner. You don't know. They may be cool people, but you'll never know because you never spoke to them,
Yeah.
right? So, let's take it beyond today and see how much of a difference we could make.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Someone said in the chat, excellent panelists, excellent, and I think you all did a wonderful job. I was kind of frightened about Quincy, but Quincy wholly in, just kidding, just kidding. But that's my boy, But guys, I really enjoyed chatting with you guys, and I know that the folks really appreciate what you had to say. And I hope that every single individual out there, old and young, I hope that we would try to do things different. Don't just stick in your way and believe this is your way and they need to understand you. No, just try to meet the older ones. Try to understand what the older ones are trying to produce. And the older ones, we want to ask you to try to understand the way the younger ones are responding and why they responded that way. Let's just try to understand each other, meet each other, and build more like a family. All right. Something that can help is a change of setting. A change of setting can help a lot. You don't try to befriend somebody in a church setting. All right, that setting just feels too formal. Invite them to your home, and I'm sure you will get a different response. Go and sit with them, Pizza Boys, or where's the coffee place at? Starbucks, if you have money. Just sit with them, have a little coffee, just have something to eat, and just change the setting, and I'm sure the response would be different. You would feel more relaxed, you may open up, you may talk a bit, and share some of your life. And sometimes we just need to get to do some of those things because we want to improve the connection between the older ones and the younger ones and bridge that gap so that we can be able to move together as a family going forward. So guys, thank you so much for your contribution. We pray that God continue to bless you and your family. You did a really excellent job. And Priya, I want to drop a little song for joking, just kidding, right? just kidding, right? I'm trying to get a response from Quincy there, break down Quincy in some tears that we see him cry on screen. But look, and you want that, all right, guys. Well, have a wonderful day. God bless you. Thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Thank you. It was a pleasure being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, guys, as we moving forward, we just want to say blessings to every single one of you. We pray that this discussion would have been helpful in the church building and developing further. All right, because the youths, they are the ones that will take over tomorrow. Because if we just keep them in the position they're at and we do our thing, then when we gone, then our thing will no longer exist and the youth will take over and do what they have to do anyway. So it's best we connect with them and teach them, shape them, mentor them, and then we will get a better result. All right. Well, we just want to go further because I think we had some prayer requests in there, and also we have a birthday to celebrate today. All right. So I think I saw a prayer request in there. You got it, Sid? I saw a prayer request somewhere. All right, just said these both hands are filled right now. All right. I saw a prayer request in here. We're going to see if we can pull it up. I'm just going to say for the prayer request that may have passed and we didn't see it, you can put it in there now so that we can see it. And put in your birthday request as well so that we can be able to sing a few. All right, good. So we got something here. Pray for me. That's Margaret Roach. Today I celebrate. Today I celebrate 36 years in Christ, trusting in God to keep me holding on to the end. All right. I think I saw another one there somewhere around. So we'll be singing happy birthday for Margaret Roach. Also, we'll be singing happy birthday for Shania. All right, I think I got the name correct. Shania, that is Joy Gishad's daughter. Sweet 16 today. We're going to be singing happy birthday for her. So a physical and a spiritual birthday. All right. It was way up to the top. A physical and a spiritual birthday. Remember, slip in your prayer requests just in case we would have missed it. We want to make sure we get everyone well. We want to make sure we get all the prayer requests so that we can go to God on your behalf. All right. So we'll sing happy birthday first, seeing as we have all the birthdays in here, and then we'll get down into singing going to God on behalf of those who have prayer requests. All right. So we're going to be singing happy birthday for Shania, that is Joy Gishad's daughter, and we're going to be singing happy birthday. It's a spiritual birthday, but we're going to be singing happy birthday for Margaret Roach as well. All right, guys. Well, let's get this thing up in here, Sydney. Drop a beat for your boy. Padam padam pam pam. Hey, tadan tadan tan. Ooh, sing happy birthday to you, Margaret Roach. Happy birthday to Shania. Happy birthday, dear Margaret and Shania. Happy birthday to sing. God is blessing, God is blessed. Come on, guys. You now, God is blessing, God is blessing. You now sing, God is blessing, God is blessing. Dear Margaret and Shania, God is blessing you. Sing happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Margaret and Shania. Happy birthday to you. Hip hip hip. Hip hip hip. That's what I'm talking about, Sydney. Man, teaching you how to say hooray, boy. That's what I'm talking. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm seeing in the chat here, and Patsy Kisun saying, I remember teaching Quincy in Sunday school, boy. Oh, cool. Quincy, well, your long time Sunday school teacher brought out something here. All right, so I got to check Patsy to see how he used to behave as a little boy in Sunday school. All right, good. So you got anything else? Nothing else? All right. Well, I hope we covered the prayer requests. If not, we'll try to grab it and we'll pray on their behalf tomorrow, Lord willing. All right, so guys, we're going to be moving forward. This was a really great discussion. Tomorrow, Lord willing, we got something really good for you as well. And, we always try to bring stuff that can help, that can benefit the people, benefit families, benefit the church. Blessings go to every single one of you. Have a great day. Have a great day. Remember to keep a smile on your face as you go on. Remember, don't allow things to throw you off. Try to be strong, and, block all the negativity from your system, ladies and gentlemen, because we're going to drench the world in positivity. That's what we're talking about. All right, well, as we're about to close, we just want to say thanks to you for joining us on the show. Guys, something great is coming. Label is improving. Label is taking things a step further. We're moving up, guys, and you don't want to miss out on the opportunity. All right, remember to go on and subscribe to our channel. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. All right, and enjoy all that we have to bring to you. Great information, great positivity to help you live a better life. Come on, let's go. We're going to be closing with this final song. Jesus arose with all power in his hand. That's your boy Sydney this morning. Jesus arose. I'm your man Leon Lewis. Let's go. In his hand, in his. They tell me that he died on. See you next time. They tell me that he rose on Sunday morning. Jesus arose with all power in his hand. My Jesus arose, my Jesus arose with all power in his hand. Come on, my Jesus arose with all power in his hand. In this, and they tell me that he died on Friday. They tell me me that he rose on Sunday morning. Jesus rose with all power in his hand. My Jesus rose with all power in his hand. Jesus rose with all power in his hand. They tell me that he died on Friday. They tell me that he rose on Sunday morning. Jesus arose with all power in his hand.